Echoes of the Smokies. It was a crisp autumn morning in the Great Smoky Mountains, the kind where the air bites just enough to remind you you're alive. My name's Alex, and I'd driven from Knoxville to Cades Cove, eager for the solitude of the Abrams Falls trail. At 5 miles round trip, it wasn't the longest hike, but it promised waterfalls, wildlife, and that rare quiet only nature can provide. I'd packed light, water, snacks, a rain jacket, and my old hiking boots, scuffed from years of trails. Little did I know, this hike would etch itself into my memory not for the scenery, but for the whispers that defied explanation. The trailhead was bustling with a few early risers, families with kids in tow, couples snapping selfies, but I slipped ahead, craving the isolation. The path wound through dense forest, oaks and maples shedding their fiery leaves like confetti. Sunlight filtered through the canopy in golden shafts, illuminating ferns and moss-covered rocks. The Abrams Creek babbled alongside, its waters clear and rushing over smooth stones. I breathed deep, the scent of earth and pine filling my lungs. This was why I hiked, to escape the city's hum, to feel small amid the ancient ridges. About a mile in, the trail steepened, switchbacks climbing toward the falls. My legs burned pleasantly, and sweat beaded on my forehead despite the chill. Birds called overhead, cardinals, warblers and squirrels chattered from the branches. It was peaceful, rhythmic. Then, as I paused to sip water at a small overlook, I heard it. A murmur, faint at first, like wind rustling leaves. But no breeze stirred. I tilted my head, listening. Words? No, not quite gibberish, fragmented syllables tumbling over each other. Shakara, Velum, Toranish. It echoed from the mountainside, not close, but not distant either. I scanned the fog-shrouded peaks, but saw nothing. Probably hikers ahead, I thought, their voices distorted by the terrain. Shrugging it off, I pressed on. The trail narrowed, hugging the creek more closely. Roots snaked across the path, tripping hazards for the unwary. I crossed a log bridge, the water below foaming white against boulders. The fall's roar grew audible now, a low thunder promising relief. But the sounds returned, louder this time. Elamsar, Krivon, Halta. It wasn't English, nor any language I recognized. Gibberish, yes, but with a cadence, almost musical, like a chant. It seemed to come from the underbrush to my right, up the slope where rhododendrons thicket the hillside. My heart quickened. Bears? No, they don't talk. Maybe a lost child, babbling in fear? I called out, "Hello? Anyone there?" Silence answered, broken only by the creek's gurgle. Curiosity overrode caution. I veered off trail, pushing through the brush. Thorns snagged my sleeves, and leaves crunched underfoot. The gibberish swelled, now interspersed with what sounded like laughter, high, tinkling, unnatural. Pirilok, Center, Faithim. It pulled me deeper, the forest darkening as the canopy thickened. Sunlight dimmed to twilight hues. I glimpsed movement, shadows flitting between trees, too quick to be human. My phone signal was gone, no bars, no help. Panic nibbled at the edges of my mind, but I told myself it was imagination, amplified by isolation. Then, a clearing emerged, ringed by ancient oaks. In its center stood a stone outcrop, weathered and etched with faint carvings, swirls and symbols that looked prehistoric. The gibberish peaked here, surrounding me like a chorus. I spun, searching for the source. From the mist, figures materialized, ethereal, translucent, like holograms in the fog. They were small, child-sized, with elongated limbs and eyes like polished obsidian. Not ghosts, not quite, more like echoes of something forgotten. They danced in a circle around the stones, their mouths moving in unison to the nonsensical words. Vorlakim, Tharasel, Nimmerfe. I froze, breath caught. Legends of the Smokies flooded my thoughts, Cherokee tales of the Nunahai, the immortal people who dwelled in the mountains, speaking in tongues only they understood. Were these them? Or hallucinations from dehydration? One turned toward me, its gaze piercing. The gibberish shifted, almost pleading, Eshkara, Velum Torah, join us Nish. Join us? My skin prickled. I backed away, stumbling over roots. The figures faded as I retreated, their voices dimming to whispers. Bursting back onto the trail, I ran toward the falls, heart pounding. The roar of water drowned out everything, a cleansing cascade. Abrams Falls plunged 20 feet into a deep pool, mist rising like steam. I collapsed on a rock, gulping air. No more sounds, just the symphony of nature. Had it been real? A trick of acoustics, perhaps echoes from distant hikers, warped by the valleys. Or something more? The mountains held secrets, after all. The return hike was uneventful, the forest benign once more. Back at the trailhead, I overheard a ranger chatting with tourists. Folks hear strange things out there sometimes, he said. Old native stories about spirits in the hills. I didn't share my tale, who'd believe gibberish in the mountains? But as I drove away, the Smokies looming in my rearview, I couldn't shake the feeling. Those words lingered in my mind, a riddle unsolved. Maybe next time, I'd listen closer. Or maybe I'd stay on the path.